Every morning life hands you a pen and an empty page. Some people fill it with yesterday's doubts. Others write the first line of a masterpiece. The difference isn't luck, it's choice. The first hour you live each day is the seedbed of your future. Feed it with the right truths, and your life will move in the direction of your dreams. Today, I want to share 14 morning truths, simple, powerful principles that can transform not just how you start your day, but how you live your entire life. The first hour of your day is not just another 60-minute. It is the architect of everything that follows. How you spend those early moments decides the pace, the focus, and the quality of the hours ahead. If you rise slowly, aimlessly, letting distractions dictate your attention, you hand over the blueprint of your day to outside forces. But when you rise with clarity, with purpose in your heart and conviction in your steps, you seize control over what that day will become. Think of your mind in the morning like fresh clay. It hasn't yet been shaped by challenges, interruptions, or unexpected events. This is the one time of day when you have absolute authority over its form. Whatever you allow to enter your thoughts in that hour will set the tone for your actions, your decisions, and even your emotional resilience for the rest of the day. If you choose empowering, forward, moving ideas, you become unstoppable. If you choose noise, gossip, or complaints, you'll carry the weight of those choices like an anchor. Most people underestimate this. They believe the day just happens, and they must react. But the truth is, your morning is a decision-making station. You decide whether to start your day feeding your spirit or starving it, and every decision compounds. A powerful morning builds momentum, and momentum is the hidden engine of achievement. Once you're moving with purpose, it's harder to stop you. On the other hand, if you begin in a sluggish haze, it's far harder to ignite energy later on. This is why winners, creators, leaders, those who shape history instead of merely watching it, guard their mornings fiercely. They treat that first hour like sacred ground. They don't casually hand it to their phone screen, social media, or the demands of the world. Instead, they invest it into thinking clearly, moving their body, feeding their mind, and affirming their vision. They understand that in the morning you are closest to your potential, before the weight of the day tries to press it down. When you wake, your mind is like a fertile garden. If you plant seeds of gratitude, ambition, and belief, they will grow through the day and bear fruit. If you plant seeds of fear, self-doubt, or irritation, those too will grow, choking out opportunity before you even notice it. The garden cannot tell the difference between weeds and roses. It will grow whatever you plant. That is why you must be intentional about the first thoughts you allow to take root. And there is more. The first hour trains your subconscious. Over time, the way you spend your mornings becomes your default operating system. If your system is designed for productivity, focus, and self-mastery, you won't have to struggle to create results. They will flow naturally from the habits you've built. If your system is built on rushing, reacting, and consuming, then no matter how much you wish for success, you will always be in conflict with yourself. Ask yourself, are you starting your day as a creator or as a consumer? Are you building the blueprint for the day ahead, or are you letting someone else's blueprint direct your actions? The truth is, the choice is entirely yours. No one can steal your first hour unless you give it away. No one can write your morning script unless you hand them the pen. If you begin each day with the mindset that this is the most important hour of your life, and you fill it with intention, self-discipline, and vision, you will feel the shift. Not just in your mornings, but in your weeks, your months, and your years. Because the way you live your days is the way you live your life. And it all starts with the first hour. Every thought you allow to enter your mind in the morning is a seed, and every seed has the power to shape your destiny. Your mind is not a passive receiver, it is the most fertile ground you will ever possess. Whatever is planted there, whether it's a vision of success or a whisper of failure, will grow, spread roots, and eventually manifest in the world around you. This is not philosophy, it is cause and effect. Your dominant thoughts direct your energy, and your energy attracts the circumstances, people, and opportunities that match those thoughts. The tragedy is that most people let their mental soil be overrun by weeds before the day has even begun. They wake up and immediately reach for the phone, feeding their mind a stream of bad news, complaints, and other people's opinions. Without realizing it, they've already planted seeds of doubt, fear, or frustration. And because the mind is faithful to what you give it, it will water those seeds all day long, growing situations and emotions that match the negativity they began with. But the same law works in your favor if you choose it. If, in those first moments of wakefulness, you deliberately plant seeds of gratitude, self-belief, and possibility, you've already tilted the balance of the day in your direction. You've decided, before anything else happens, what kind of mental crop you will harvest by evening. This is the great secret. Life doesn't respond to what you do once in a while. It responds to what you think and feel consistently. The morning is your opportunity to set that consistency in motion. Your mind does not resist what you feed it in the morning. It is open, unguarded, ready to be influenced. That is why this time is so powerful. You can write new truths on the blank slate of your consciousness before the world tries to scribble its own graffiti on it. You can affirm your goals, visualize your success, replay the image of the person you are becoming until it feels inevitable. You can look in the mirror and declare what will be true for you, not what is true now, but what will be, and your subconscious will get to work making it real. This isn't wishful thinking, it's mental architecture. You are building the scaffolding for the life you want to inhabit. Just as a farmer would never expect to harvest corn from a field where only weeds were planted, you cannot expect to harvest success from a mind where only fear and doubt were planted. Every achievement you see in the physical world first existed as a seed in someone's mind. Every fortune, every invention, every breakthrough began with an idea that someone chose to plant, nurture, and protect from anything that could choke it out. The discipline lies in protecting those seeds from day one. If you tell yourself in the morning that today you will be focused, resilient, and resourceful, you must guard that truth from the moment you step out the door. Don't let someone's negativity uproot it. Don't let a single inconvenience convince you it was never planted. Because the growth of your vision depends on your consistency in watering it, even when you can't yet see the results. You cannot always control the events of your day, but you can always control the thoughts you plant at the start. And those thoughts, if chosen wisely, will give you the courage to rise above whatever comes. When you wake up tomorrow, treat your mind as sacred ground. Plant only what you want to grow. Choose seeds that will bear fruit worth harvesting, because the life you live is nothing more than the harvest of the seeds you've planted every morning. Self-discipline before sunrise is the quiet forge where champions are made. It is in those early hours, when the world is still and the temptations are few, that you can shape yourself into the kind of person who does not wait for success to arrive, but goes out and earns it. Discipline in the morning is more than just getting up early. It's about taking command over your time, your thoughts, and your actions before life has the chance to pull you in 100 different directions. There is a silent power in doing the hard thing before the sun is even high in the sky. When you rise with intention and begin your day with a clear set of actions, whether it's exercise, study, prayer, or planning, you tell yourself, I am in control of me. This declaration, repeated daily through your habits, builds an unshakable confidence, because if you can conquer the first hour, you can conquer the day. And if you can conquer the day, you can conquer your life. The truth is, discipline is rarely convenient. It asks you to move when you'd rather stay still, to focus when distraction calls, to choose the future over the present comfort. But here's the secret: discipline gets easier the more you practice it. When you consistently demand from yourself in the morning, you begin to operate from a higher standard the rest of the day without thinking about it. You don't have to fight as hard to make good decisions, because you've already told yourself you are the kind of person who makes them. Many people think success is a matter of talent, luck, or timing, but the real separator is discipline, the willingness to do the work even when no one is watching, even when no one is asking. And morning discipline multiplies its effect, because it sets the tone before you've encountered the world's noise. You are moving on your own terms, by your own design, before the demands of the day try to dictate your path. Think of the morning as your training ground. The weights you lift here are not physical alone, they are mental. Each time you choose to get up instead of hitting the snooze button, you are lifting the weight of your own resistance. Each time you read something that feeds your mind instead of scrolling through endless distraction, you are strengthening the muscle of focus. Each time you follow through on the small promises you made to yourself, you are reinforcing the identity of a disciplined, determined individual. And identities shape destinies. There will be mornings when you feel tired, uninspired, maybe even defeated. That's when discipline becomes more than a habit. It becomes a statement. On those days, you are proving to yourself that your commitment is stronger than your mood, that your future matters more than your momentary comfort. This is the exact moment where ordinary people stop and extraordinary people keep going. You do not need to master every aspect of your life overnight. Start with this: win the morning through discipline. Show up for yourself before you show up for the world. Choose the action that serves your long-term vision over the one that feeds a fleeting impulse. Over time, this becomes second nature. And when it does, you will look back and realize that discipline was never a burden, it was the bridge. A bridge that carried you from wishful thinking to tangible achievement. A bridge that began in the quiet hours before the world awoke, when it was just you, your will, and the choice to rise. And each time you made that choice, you built another plank in the path toward the life you knew you could have. Gratitude is not just a polite gesture or a momentary feeling. It is a force that can open doors you didn't even know existed. In the quiet of the morning, before the demands of the day pull at your attention, gratitude is the most powerful state you can step into. It shifts your perspective instantly. It moves your focus from what's missing to what's already here. And when you begin your day by acknowledging the good in your life, you train your mind to see opportunities instead of obstacles. When you wake and the first thought you choose is, "I already have so much," you disarm fear. You take away its ability to tell you that you're not enough or that you don't have enough. Gratitude reminds you that even if you are not yet where you want to be, you have a foundation to build from, a foundation millions would trade places for in a heartbeat. This mindset creates a fertile environment for growth, because you're no longer acting from desperation, you're acting from abundance. There is a magnetic quality to a thankful heart. People are drawn to those who radiate appreciation, because gratitude is rare in a world obsessed with what's next. When you show genuine thankfulness, you stand out. Opportunities seem to find their way to you, not because luck suddenly favors you, but because you've shifted your energy to align with possibility. Gratitude makes you attentive. You notice the small openings, the quiet invitations, the overlooked chances that a restless, complaining mind would miss entirely. In the morning, gratitude is your lens. If you start the day looking through it, everything you see is colored with potential. The challenges you face are not dead ends, they are lessons. The tasks ahead are not burdens, they are privileges, proof that you have a role to play and the capacity to act. Even your struggles become different under this lens because you recognize the strength they are building in you. Gratitude is also a shield. It protects you from the bitterness that creeps in when life doesn't go as planned. When you are grounded in thankfulness, disappointment may visit, but it cannot stay long. You can acknowledge what's difficult without becoming consumed by it. That resilience is built every time you start your day, by counting what's right instead of dwelling on what's wrong. Some people think they need to wait for life to give them something extraordinary before they can feel grateful. But the truth is, life gives you extraordinary things every single day, you just stopped noticing them. The ability to see, to walk, to breathe, to learn, to choose your thoughts. These are riches, and when you treat them as riches, you carry yourself differently. You make decisions as someone who already has value and strength, rather than someone hoping to one day earn them. The morning is your chance to reset this perspective daily. It's not enough to feel thankful once in a while. You must practice it until it becomes your default setting. Before the noise begins, before the problems demand solutions, take a few minutes to list in your mind or on paper what you appreciate most. Feel it, don't just think it. Let it sink in until your chest feels lighter and your mind feels calmer. From that place, you move into the day with a steady kind of power. Gratitude won't erase every difficulty you face, but it will change how you meet them. And that difference, the ability to stand tall in both ease and adversity, often determines whether you simply survive the day or use it to step closer to the life you've been working toward. Every morning you are given a choice. Wake up to simply repeat yesterday, or wake up to create today. Far too many people rise from their beds and slide straight into autopilot. They follow the same motions, walk the same paths, think the same thoughts, and call it living. But a life without intention is not truly lived. It is endured. Purpose is what transforms an ordinary morning into the starting line of a meaningful day. Habits are powerful. They shape who we are without us even noticing. But habits without purpose become chains. They keep you circling the same track, never questioning whether that track is leading anywhere worth going. Purpose, on the other hand, acts like a compass. It doesn't just keep you moving, it keeps you moving in the right direction. Without it, even the most productive routines can become empty rituals, filled with activity but lacking progress. When you wake with purpose, every action you take in the morning carries weight. Making your bed is no longer just tidying a room. It's setting the tone for order and discipline. Eating a healthy breakfast is not just fueling your body. It's an act of respect for the vessel that will carry you through the day's challenges. Writing in your journal is not a meaningless scribble, it's sharpening the vision for the life you are building. Purpose gives meaning to even the smallest acts. The danger of living by habit alone is that you stop asking why. You stop aiming higher because you've grown comfortable repeating what's familiar. Purpose forces you to ask, is what I'm doing today moving me closer to the life I want, or is it keeping me exactly where I am? That question, asked each morning, can dismantle years of aimless routine and replace them with a deliberate plan for growth. Purpose also fuels persistence. When your morning actions are tied to a bigger vision, you no longer rely on fleeting motivation to get out of bed. You have a mission. Motivation fades, but mission endures. Even on mornings when you feel tired or uninspired, you will move because you know what's at stake if you don't. A person with purpose will always outlast a person who is simply following a habit. This doesn't mean habits are the enemy. In fact, habits are essential. They are the vehicle that carries your purpose into action. but they must be driven by the right driver. Purpose must take the wheel, and habit must follow the route it sets. Without purpose, habits drift. With purpose, habits accelerate results. So when you wake tomorrow, don't just think about what you will do. Think about why you will do it. Ask yourself how each action serves the person you are becoming. This awareness changes everything. A purposeful morning is sharp, intentional, and alive with energy, because you are not just moving through the hours. You are shaping your future. And here's the truth. Each morning is a contract you sign with your future self. The terms are written in the decisions you make as soon as you wake. If you fill that contract with mindless repetition, you will get a mindless life. If you fill it with clear, deliberate actions tied to a purpose, you will create a life that reflects your highest vision. The contract renews every day. Sign it wisely. When you choose purpose over habit, you stop existing and start creating. You realize that every sunrise is not just the start of another day. It's an invitation to build, to grow, to rise higher than you did yesterday. And if you accept that invitation with your whole heart, there is no limit to where your mornings will take you.